I've been building a software development company over the past 3 years, and a lot of businesses want to use software in their company, but they don't know whether to build it themselves or outsource it or buy it from somewhere else, some third party or existing kind of platform. I think when it comes to most businesses, the first option that you should try and do is try and use some kind of existing software. The reason being, when you use something that's existing, it's going to be way cheaper than building your own solution. And so you want to use what somebody else has already done, avoid the work of building the entire thing and maintaining it and all that, and just use some kind of third party platform. So for example, let's say you needed some kind of CRM, you can build your own CRM using Notion or Airtable, or you can kind of use an existing solution that has data enrichment and all these things. Like there's Clay, there's all kinds of CRMs which are a little bit smarter or whatever. You can build your own little features within their systems most of the time. So you can relatively somewhat customize it. There are limitations, but I recommend for most businesses, there are so many tools that they're not integrating right now, which they don't even have to build themselves. There's so many opportunities on the table that a business could use by just figuring out which tools are right for them. Feel free to comment in the questions if you have a particular business or anything like that to help businesses kind of figure out what tools to use for free of the existing ones. So we also help build all obviously custom ones, but there's a lot of existing solutions out there and you can definitely leverage those already. And then if you are already trying to use an existing tool and you realize that there's a problem that you have in using that tool and you kind of need your own solution for it, that's when you move into building your own software. And there are two options to build it. You can build it internally or outsource it. And generally, for the most part, I recommend that a business consider whether this is a really, really core kind of function that they need to own, or whether this is just something that they want to try out. What I mean by this is, I think outsourcing is usually the faster and easier option because you're not going to have to build out a development team and manage everything yourself. Like it's a whole process to build something. And if you've already got a business, let's say you're running a dental clinic or something, you're not going to be having time to sit down and build the software or vet engineers and interview them and figure out who's better and who's worse and all these things. Like there's a lot of work that goes into figuring out how to build an application, and you don't need to do it all as a business owner. That's where outsourcing makes sense. Building in-house makes sense when it's something that you want to build some kind of system that's really core to your business. So if you are some kind of tech company and you want to build something that's part of the core of your business, then definitely, keeping it in-house I think makes sense. But I think for the most part, even if you're a tech company and you're trying something new, outsourcing can work in those situations. I think some of our clients have built MVPs with us and stuff, and I think that makes sense when it's a non-core product. But even in that case, I think eventually, if you need to maintain the system over the long run, bringing some of that in-house does make sense. And that's why we help our clients to kind of create documentation and help them hire and things like that when they need to, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be outsourcing forever. Part of any good agency is eventually firing yourself. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on this kind of stuff. A lot of businesses are not using enough technology. There are so many areas where you can use technology. Marketing, I think, is one of the biggest ones because people are sleeping on marketing all the time, content marketing, and you can make it really easy by using content creation tools that are using AI and other kinds of technology. So you don't have to do that much work and you can get incredibly far. So I really encourage businesses to try something new with technology because that can put a multiplier on their existing business in a way that pretty much nothing else can. And it can seriously reduce costs. And so you can take a business that's doing a couple $100,000 a year and put it into the millions simply by making better systems around what they're already doing and reducing friction and reducing the need for labor and manpower and increasing the capacity of the whole organization without increasing the headcount. That is the power of technology. It really kills me to see some people who are really struggling to implement it and they don't know where to start. I'm working on making more content that's going to help people implement that technology and figure out how to add it to their business. And that's like entirely for free. I want to put everything online because I think there's so much opportunity for people to kind of increase their business bottom and top line.